video. Um, oh my god, I can't believe what happened today. This is insane. I still can't believe what happened. Sorry, there's nobody actually here, but for the people watching later on, my car went best in show, and I can't believe that happened. And no, I did not give anybody notification for this live. So, and being Labor Day Monday, who knows? There might not be anybody here, but that's okay. I still want to do this video anyways because it's just like, oh my god, this weekend has been so much fun, so insane, and I love it. And now I have been able to track down some other stuff too, and like a guy with a 4 200, for example. So hopefully, I'll be able to get in contact with him and maybe film his car and whatever else he has in his collection, because I'm sure that's not his only car, right? Okay, so I have 1 like on the video, but nobody watching, or at least it's not showing anybody watching. So appreciate it though. But yeah, my car won best in show. Like now, when I say that, because yes, there were more than one vehicle that actually won best in show. I think there was about 10 of us. But it's like, seriously, I got like the thing. It's backwards for you guys, but Ford best in show. This was put on by CMR, which is the Canadian Mustang Registry, and I can't believe that happened. I wasn't even planning on going to this event initially. Like, it's just this morning I got up, I was anticipating, okay, we are going to put the 302 in my car today. Well, that didn't happen. So now I'm like, well, what do I do with my day? And it's like, oh yeah, CMR is today. So I go to go up to Rocky Mountain House a little after when the show actually started. I think I got there at like 11:30. They started at about 10, so that was fine. People started rolling in before that, and yeah, and I'm just holy crap. There were so many because it was a Ford only show. Although actually, I say that, but there was actually a Chevy pickup that was there as well. And I don't think he was allowed to actually be entered in for the a lot of the for awards and stuff like that. I don't think so, but there was a lot of Mustangs there, and it was absolutely incredible. Sorry, I'm really tired. This weekend has been an absolute whirlwind of events. Saturday I didn't do anything Saturday. Then Sunday rolls around, I go up to Edmonton. I go check out Roy Marco's collection of cars. I even went cruising with him a little later on in the day, but I was sorry. I'm just excited. Hi, Turtle's Garage. How's it going? Hope you're doing fantastic. And sorry, I'm very, very tired. It's been an exhausting weekend. Like I was just mentioning to no viewers before people started to jump in. Um, yeah, I can't believe this weekend has been absolutely incredible. Because, like I said, yesterday I was up in Edmonton. I went to a brunch with the No Boys Loud crew. I got a video done on actually one of the girls' cars, which was a 1977 Mustang Cobra 2 that's white on red, and you almost never see them white on red. You usually see them white on blue. And, that was really cool to see. Very nice car, 4-speed manual, with the 302 and everything. And it was just, very nice car. But then later on, I went to Roy Marco's from Roy Marco's garage. Actually, I went to his place and hung out there for quite a few hours. Initially, I went up to Edmonton to actually film to do my review on the 2021 Toyota Supra, but it just didn't happen, unfortunately. Time and stuff like that was misconstrued in text or whatever, and it was totally fine. Not the end of the world. We'll get it done at some point. It's just not at this point. But then, so I go cruising with Roy a little later on in the day. I think we started out at about 9 o'clock. So I was hanging out at his house for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, something like that. Had a good time, honestly. Very good time. He's honestly, I do like hanging out with him, so it's very fun. But anyways, so I got a video done as well on his full collection of cars, which consisted of a Triumph Herald, a couple of Nash Metropolitans, a Chevette Diesel. There's a Hudson Hornet, and what was the last car there? Oh, and his C50 as well, 1967 Chevrolet C50, which is a very cool truck, honestly, and I love those trucks. I'm not a big Chevy fan, but those trucks in particular, I'm like, yes. Well, he is. If you ever are in the Edmonton area, just look him up. If you ever get up there, because he will. He's such a chill dude and so awesome to hang out with that he will let you film his cars and stuff like that, and we'll have a good time. Because I initially met him, through YouTube, right? And through actually Novitaz's live streams. He was one of the guys in the comments and stuff like that. So, just chatted with him and stuff like that. And we just got to know each other a little more. And yeah, very cool guy. But then, today happens. And, like I mentioned earlier, I was going to actually put the 302 in Stitch today. But unfortunately, that just didn't happen. So, I decided, you know what? CMR is today with Stangfest. Why not? Let's go out there, right? And Rocky is about an hour away from here. So, I head up there, right? It's about 10 o'clock, I think, when I left. And I'm driving up, and, nothing too fancy happened or anything like that. But then, I finally get to the show because I washed my car, and I had to go grab cash for the registration, which got me this awesome license plate, right? Like this says Stangfest 2021, Rainbow Ford, CMR, Show and Shine, Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, right? So cool. So this will be hanging back up on my wall after this video because both of these came off my wall. And and I'm just taking pictures for a picture video, right? Like I normally do at these car meet shows things. Because it's hard to do, especially with copyrighted music in the background. It's hard to actually get a video proper that I want to do of the walkarounds and stuff like that. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is because like people say, "Oh, I'm gonna be at the show," and just like, okay, cool, but I kind of want to film it elsewhere, just because it's so much harder to film something at a show as well, with everything going on and all that jazz. But anyways, doesn't matter about that. So I'm just taking the pictures of the cars, and hey, old school, how's it going? And like lots of Mustangs. I mean, I think there was only like 3 non-Mustangs, and the rest of them were Mustangs. So most of them modern. Pre 1990 for Mustangs, there was only 3. So that was definitely interesting. Actually, I don't even know if the other Fox body was a before 1990 or not, for sure. Oh, hey, Real Slacker. How's it going? And, oh, nice, old school. That's neat. But back to what I was saying here. Very quickly, I'll end this and then we can chat about other stuff. Is it comes to the judging portion of the competition, it's like, oh, yeah, Stitch is not going to win. I don't care. It's not the end of the world. I just went there for fun to, chat with people, whatever else. And, well, lo and behold, I get this. Now, it's just, it's thick plastic, but still, I don't care. This is like, I just want to frame this and, like, just keep it forever. Because this is my first ever award in my car. Like, and this is Best in Show. Now, I wasn't the only one that won Best in Show. There was about 10 of us that won Best in Show. However, what I beat out is just like, what? Like, I don't understand how that happened. I am very happy it happened, but I don't know how it happened, right? So, yeah, very, very, very excited about this, and I'm giddy. I'm giddy. Very giddy. Very giddy about this. Yeah, because I just wanted to go live to kind of show my emotions about this because I've been home for a little over an hour now, but yeah, it's just incredible. And for the congratulations. Um, yeah, it's just I never thought I'd win an award in that car, at least in the state that she's in currently. Because don't get me wrong, she's in good shape, but it's not exactly in like really show quality or anything like that. And no, the Lumina isn't sold yet. That is something I'm working on. Might see if I can trade it for a pickup truck. I actually just messaged the guy so before the stream, so we'll see what happens there. And actually, I got a message back from the guy with the RS200, which it is a replica, but that's okay. I am totally cool with that being a replica, anyways, and filming it. It's not like as exciting, but here's the thing: you don't see an RS200 replica, anyways. So it's kind of one of those deals where just like, hey, that's dope. I want to film your car, right? Um, you know, and yeah, and if you guys haven't heard of an RS200, that was one of the most badass um cars to come out of the 80s because that was a homologation special for Group B rally racing. They only made, I know for the evolutions of the RS200, they only made, it was 36. Oh, that's no fun with that. Yeah, I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Well, and actually, it was the RS200, if I'm not mistaken, was the one that dethroned the Lancia Stratos for that badass mid-engine monster. Because the Lancia Stratos was just as badass too, but I think the RS200 was able to surpass it. Now, granted, the Lancia Stratos was in the 70s, while the RS200 was in the 80s, but still, it is really incredible. So I can't wait to see this thing again. He said he's going to be at the on Wednesday in Calgary at one of the shows there, and I've been there once before. I've wanted to go again, but I don't know. We'll see if I'm able to get there or not. You sold a Lancia Delta Integrale? Wow. Now I have seen like 2 of those cars. They are super cool. I always have loved Lancia as a company, and especially like the Deltas and the Stratos, and even some of the like the Betas and the stuff like that. I wouldn't say it's a tongue twister per se. Yeah, Lancia Delta Integrale, right? Yeah, see, and I remember you telling me about that. That you mentioned it was an E30, but now you said it was a 2.5 stroker. That's interesting, actually. Pretty cool. Um, back when you could modify a car like that, and nobody was upset about it. Because nowadays, you modify that, and they go, "Oh no, you can't do that," and it's just like, "Well, no, I can. It's not the end of the world. Calm down." Yeah, I remember you showed me the video. It's pretty sweet, actually. So many bugs out here. It's the problem with doing lives outside, right? But I could actually do it inside, but I don't know. I like doing them out here, so it's a lot more peaceful than inside my house. And yeah, so it's been an absolute whirlwind of a weekend. Fun weekend, but whirlwind. So now I'm wondering, okay, well, when's the 302 gonna go in my car, right? And maybe next Monday. Who knows? That would be exciting because, yeah, I really want that engine in my car, especially after today too, because after CMR, uh, we cruised actually down here to Sundry, and we did a little photo op at the fire hall here in town, which you can actually see that on YouTube. Oddly enough, I put up a post here on YouTube of the couple of pictures I took, and some other little pictures of my car and the this plaque in the window. So yeah, that was just a very fun day. Long day, but fun day. Because being in the sun all day, it gets very tiring very fast. And I was not fading then. I mean, I'm fading now. I could like fall asleep right now actually, but and it's only like 6 o'clock. But it's just one of those deals where sorry, I've lost my train of thought. And as of this week, I don't really know what's all going on because actually something that happened on Sunday is at that car meet that I mentioned that I was at with Roy Marco. I met a guy who I've seen his car around quite a bit actually. He's been at a few of the big shows. It's a modified R32 Skyline. It's like, that's cool. And I was just near my car and he was chatting with me, right? One of the few people that actually chatted with me about my car. I think I had about 4 or 5 people chat about my car. And well, he's actually a pretty chill dude. And I told him like, yeah, I'm from Sundry, and I'm gonna be driving back tonight. And this was at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and he's like, oh, well, do you need a place to crash or anything like that? You can stay where I'm staying right now. And actually, I want to do that. A little more, because the video I did with Roy Marco, it's not necessarily interviewing him about his cars or anything like that, but we're doing the walk around of his full property of cars, and he's there. He's kind of talking a little bit about the cars as well. I'm sometimes repeating it just because I wasn't sure if the mic was picking up his voice or not. So yeah, it was actually a very good time, very fun, and that video, I'm probably gonna upload that this week at some point. I don't know. I need to stop doing daily uploads. No, actually, there's no classic junkyards near me. I do want to do a junkyard thing, and actually, because there's this one place that I've been invited to. The only problem is I need quite a bit of money to go down there, and that's been kind of a struggle because I really don't have much money right now. Like I'm living off of that Nova deal, right? When I sold the Nova, but I only got 25% of that deal, so it's $250 to last me the full month. So I'm already down to like $120 at this point, just from the past couple of days. But yeah, because yesterday required 2 tanks of fuel, and today I spent another $20. Plus change and whatnot. That's fine. I don't count my change as my like bank account or anything like that. So yeah, technically no. Like when I flip cars and stuff like that, that pretty much is my employment. And then I hope to be able to transition, from, because I know I'm gonna have to find actual employment through in the next month or so if I can. The problem is with my health, it makes it very, very difficult to go and find an employment, especially around here and stuff that I can do, right? That is the struggle. So now, although I am monetized on YouTube now, which is very exciting too. That happened this weekend. That was actually Sunday morning, where I was actually that was Saturday morning, I think. Yeah, I think I can't remember. Anyways, that was this weekend too, and I'm very excited about that. Now it's finalizing everything with the tax info and whatever else they needed, so I sent that away to them, and yeah, which luckily they didn't actually need my taxes because I'd have to go find them because I don't know where they are. They just required my social insurance number and it was all good there. So yeah, Um, now I'm just waiting for them to approve that. It should take. I mean, it says about a month. It could take about a month, but for stuff with Cletus, it only took about a week, a little less than that actually. So, fingers crossed that all works out. That's fair. I mean, and I could do that. You know, like, oh, see me. But I just don't have anything to really, sell or anything like that way. Because yeah, I mean, I do. Because I don't just sell vehicles for people. I do sell like parts and stuff too. Every once in a while, like I have. The only part I still have left to sell because I gave most of it back, um, is there is a stock replacement radio. It came out of his 2003 Ford Mustang, which is Cody's Mustang. That the one I actually drove. Um, to show you right for Brandon. Which, if you guys haven't seen that video, I encourage you to go check that out. There's some really cool cars in there that are just absolutely incredible cars. Um, it's a very fun video, and as well, I mean, you might look at the video and go, "Well, why did you take a picture of that and that and that?" Because I wasn't being discriminatory to anything. Like, there is literally a couple of stock like Dodge Rams in there. There is a minivan in there, even too, and last but not least, there is a Corolla, a four-door Corolla from like the mid-90s. Nothing special, but still, that's fair. Um, I just the problem is though too, a lot of the time is I don't really have the money or the space to try and just buy a bunch of stuff all the time and do that because I'm very very limited where I live. Like if you saw my sleeping situation, it's not pretty. Um, at that show, there wasn't a Celica per se at that show. No, sorry, actually there was. I don't know if I got a picture of that for the show. I'd have to look at the video again. There's been so much happened in the past week that I can't remember what all I've done and what I've taken pictures of and stuff like that. But I know there was a GT4 there. Celica GT4, the last generation of the GT4s. So that 90s one. I mean, I would love a Celica, to be honest. I'm a big Toyota fan. I really am. I love Toyotas. And especially the vintage ones. Like, I know that there was one. It was a Celica Supra that was the second generation, so that would have been that mid '80s one, not the '70s one, right? So that was honestly cool to see, and it was stanced out and stuff like that. That's it, and they definitely are. I dig those Corollas as well, but the Supras are still more of my passion, and I love the first generation and the third generation Supras the most. Especially the third generation. People will say, "Well, what about the fourth generation?" It's like, yeah, what about it? It's a good looking car and everything, but it's just not like a holy crap moment for me, right? So that's fine. Um, yeah. Oh, for sure. They definitely are. But rear wheel drive or all wheel drive in the Corollas, I think, is the best. And like, there's a guy here in town, um, that actually has my dream cars. And you guys might think, wait, that's your dream car? It's like, yeah, it is actually. It is a Toyota. Now, it is. I'm not sure exactly what year it is. It's between 1989, I believe, to 1993. Toyota Celica All-Track. And if you guys don't know what the All-Track is, that is the North American version of the GT4. So you had that all-wheel drive, you had the turbo on the 3S, so it was the 3S GTE, and it was absolutely incredible. And I've seen it around, but I haven't seen it for a while, like driving. It's just been parked underneath his carport, and I'm just wondering what's wrong with the car. And I've been meaning to stop in and ask him actually what's up with this car because it would be a really cool car to own, and even or just to film too, right? Like that's a car. If I acquired it, I'd have a tough time trying to sell that, just because I love those cars and they're one of my dream cars. They're not the absolute dream car. That's 1970 Corvette, but that generation sleek all track, money for me. You couldn't really get any more perfect in 90s than that for me, I think. People will say, well, what about the generation after that? And like, that's a nice car too. But those early 90s, late 80s, you know, because I think they started in 89 for that body style, like 89 and 93, I think. I could be wrong on the years, because again, there's so much knowledge in my head at times, and I get stuff wrong. Plus, I'm tired too. Like, I could literally just fall asleep right now. But yeah, it was very, very, it was very cool seeing that car. And again, just haven't seen it on the road for probably 6 to 8 months. I was like, what are you doing? And it's not like it's a winter beater or anything, because I saw it in the summertime driving. It was at a couple of shops here in town. And it's just like, so what's the deal with this car, right? And that would be a wicked car, and I would drive it year round. It's all-wheel drive. It's badass. And I have more people on Facebook congratulating me for the best of show win, because that's what that was actually. I haven't seen 3 of them so far, but there's been like 10 people so far on my Facebook that have said congratulations. It's incredible. I love it. Sorry, I keep talking about that, but it's just, yeah, I'm excited about that. Still very giddy, and it's hours after the fact because I got that award at what, 2 o'clock, 1:30, something like that. So and I'm still pretty much on cloud nine, but tired on cloud nine. Yeah, it's been an absolutely wonderful weekend, and I couldn't have really asked for any better than this, because there's a lot of the time when you know there's a lot of the time when stuff doesn't go right with me, but lately everything's just been lining up and being like perfect, and I really do like. I'm so happy about that. I'm very excited because if you guys don't know, I do deal with actually a lot of mental issues. Um, I have bipolar depression, um, and I've been under suicide watch in the hospital when I was 15. That was 10 years ago, so I'm way past that now. Even though there's still some thoughts here and there, but because they never actually truly go away from it. But people will say, "Oh yeah, it gets better and like it goes away." Well, it's like it doesn't go away. It gets better, but it doesn't go away, right? And as you get older, you learn to deal with it better, right? Because when you're younger, it's you don't have the experience yet to go through that sort of thing and get into it, with the same strength that you can later. And I'm sorry to hear about your sister having that too, because it is rough, and it is interesting how common depression is, but not only that, but bipolar depression too, because I think I know quite a few people actually. Like I know, I think 6 or 7. That's fair. If yeah, um, yeah, sorry, but it's been a whirlwind of stuff that's happened in the past, even just year. I finally got my surgery to make me so that I am somewhat healthy again. Because I'm still not perfectly healthy, but I'm much healthier than I was. Makes me able to function, even if I was kind of out of it for a while after the surgery, because I was in so much pain. Like there was a lot of pain that I was in, because oh, absolutely, it is, right? And I wish the government would realize that, because they don't. like I live off of that for the most part, of government supports, and they know all about my car stuff too, so it's fine. It's really not much money in the end. Um, but they only give me, because I live with my dad. They only give me $639 a month, and that's what I live off of per month. That's it. And don't get me wrong, I make it work. I do. And I never go hungry or anything like that because I figured out my bills and everything, and I have like a set limit of stuff that I can do during the month. Like this month, I'm kind of over capacity of being able to travel now, and it's only like September 6th. So, yeah, that's kind of a problem. But I've just been excited, you know, because I'm probably not gonna be going to too many other places this month. Because then as well, like I will have to try and find actual employment. I'm just hoping that I can continue doing YouTube and eventually being able to just live off of YouTube rather than going and working for somebody else and stuff like that, because I really enjoy doing what I do. And some of my stuff actually gets very popular. And, you know, I hope that when the monetization process is absolutely final, that I can do that more. Ugh, um, and yeah, and like I said, and then just live off of YouTube. Because I know that it'll take a while for me to make any proper money. It's going to be pretty much pennies in the beginning, but you know, I'll just keep growing it as much as I can and keep going until, well, I don't know, until I'm dead. But I seriously do enjoy YouTube and all my fans and everything like that. And for all of you that support me, thank you all so much. There's 3 of you watching the live stream right now. There's been a total of 6 that have liked the video, which I appreciate every single one of you. And thank you, old school. I do appreciate that. You know, employment out here is difficult. Like in Sundry, there really isn't a lot out here. Like there is, but there isn't, because a lot of the stuff that I can do is, well, they require like so much experience and blah blah blah. And kind of, we don't properly salt the roads, if that's what you mean. We don't just throw straight salt down. It's a mixture of a salt sand mix, like it's a mixture of the two. But that's why like Alberta cars typically aren't the rustiest compared to say BC or Saskatchewan, where they do salt the roads. So, although they've been experimenting with beet juice actually over in BC on the Coquihalla in the wintertime, and which is, they've been using it in other places and it actually works. So, and it's something that, you know, is very easy to get a hold of, and as well, it's not harmful to the cars, so it's kind of a win-win, right? Yeah, see, you're out in the Rust Belt of Ontario, so so Tim, are you actually from Canada, or are you slightly further down south in like Detroit or something like that? Unterrible. Yeah. Oh, I have heard that, yeah, Washington is very rainy. But here's the thing, and what people don't realize: rain is not gonna hurt your car one bit. Now, hail, yes, of course it will, but rain won't. It won't do anything. The only time when water will do any damage to your car is if it sits in a particular location. That's when it starts to rust out. Oh, you're in Southern Ontario, okay. This is true. Acid rain can, but I mean, we don't experience acid rain here in Alberta. I don't think I've ever actually experienced acid rain. So, yeah, I haven't had that issue. We just have the extreme ones. And hey, thanks, Michael. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, that was super exciting to actually win that award at the show today. Which actually that's my buddy Michael from Facebook. Um, he owns Lincoln Mark 8s. That's his thing. He loves his Lincolns, and I was gonna potentially buy one of his Lincolns, but it was a lot rustier than what he initially thought. So yeah. Well, yes, okay, unpainted surfaces, that's fine, but an actual um but I'm talking about like a regular car, but even then, okay. Like my car, there's a lot of unpainted surfaces on it. It goes through snow, rain, anything you can think of. Really, for normal weather. Year round, it's done it. It's been through blizzards, it's been through monsoons. She's not really rusty. Don't get me wrong, there is some rust coming out finally. After 2 years of ownership of the car, and about a year and a half of actually driving said car. But yeah. And as for civic stuff, there is no there's no updates yet on that, really. There's since the last video, nothing's happened. And ESO, I'm pretty sure ESO does have ethanol. The only one that I know that doesn't have ethanol in 91 octane is Shell. That's the only one that is ethanol free at 91 octane. But depending on how old your car is, ethanol is fine. You know. No, Costco does have ethanol in it. Which Costco actually gets Husky fuel. So for reference, theirs is 100% Husky. That goes to Costco. The only difference is sometimes with Costco, because they go through so much. Well, the one benefit to ethanol fuels is the ethanol is designed so that it evaporates, right? Compared to gas before, which was actually worse sitting, where it wouldn't do anything and it would just slowly turn into like turpentine, right? Because I've seen that and I've smelt what gas smells like after 30 years of sitting, and it's not pretty. And it's just like you put that through your fuel system and it's terrible. At least the ethanol actually evaporates. And honestly, with a carbureted vehicle, as depending on what you own, like my car, because ethanol fuels, like they were designed in they were actually designed during the 70s and 80s. Like my car, for example, ethanol can go through it and it's no big deal. Although she was having a little bit of issues today, but I think that's just due to um, other sources, mostly that carburetor. Like she tried to stall out on me a couple times and that sort of thing. But that car goes in stages of like it runs absolutely mint to oh my god, it's running like crap to yay again, and you know it just goes back and forth, right? That's fine. I always like complain about my car when it does it. Wasp, go away, please. Go away. Thank you. Um, sorry about that. Wasp was trying to get on camera, and I said no. I'm not making you famous, Wasp. You can fly over there and stay over there. But yeah, it can if it is humid where you are. It it depends on the climate of where you live. Like where I am, it's usually not that humid, it's more dry, so ethanol is fine. But if you live somewhere like where you are that is a lot more humid, different story, right? But I mean, you kind of have, you know, a bunch of water right there, so it's always going to be humid, right? There is that. Because yeah, humidity is usually not a big thing here. The only time when it's humid is, hey, it's or like a muggy day is when there's smoke, right? Or it's raining. So, yeah. Ooh, okay, can the sun come back out? It's starting to get a little cold out here. I like my lungs, thanks. I don't want leaded fuel again. Um, I'm asthmatic, so I'm one of the people that would be affected by lead gasoline. Um, you can add zinc additive into your gas and it's fine. But, like I said, if you want ethanol free fuel, just go to Shell. Um, Shell with 91 octane is 100% ethanol free. And yeah. Well, yeah. The thing is, the old cars, they only had the lead was due to the fact that you didn't have hardened valve seats, right? And that's the only thing you have to change between if you want your car to run on leaded fuel or not, which you don't actually get leaded fuel anymore. You can get a zinc additive, which acts like lead, but it's not lead. And it's much healthier for your lungs when, you're driving down the road. So, yeah. Because I have done my research on this, to be honest, a little bit of just because I wanted to see as well, especially when if I get a car that makes just a stupid amount of power that I have to run on a 91 or 94 octane all the time, that I'm prepared, right? Yeah, kind of like that. That is true. Due to the heat, because actually lead burns hotter than the ethanol fuels do. So it does cook your catalytic converters pretty fast, or can. But depending on where you are, you don't need one. Mine's still in my car, but I've thought about just cutting it out and welding a new piece of pipe because I have pipe in the shed to go put in there. It's literally the entire exhaust system, excluding the manifolds, off of the parts car that I had because it was actually in good shape. I was actually gonna swap it over, but I never did. Um, It's just been sitting in my shed ever since. So if you guys remember the 80, like if you guys were around for that long, I had an 83 Mustang notchback as a parts car. And I bought the car for one reason, the rear defrost switch. Because mine didn't work. And I needed one. Uh, I mean, food prices aren't that bad. Not that I've seen, anyways. Because, like, the only time I've seen food prices being insane at times is when Friesen Brothers took over the IGA here in town. It is better quality stuff, but you're also paying through the nose for some of it too. Like milk being from Western Family is, oh, look at that. That's a $6 jug of milk, damn near. And it's like, hmm. I thought it. I thought it. The only people that were allowed to do that was the gas station. But it's the only grocery store here in town, so you don't really have a choice. Although, I did a little price comparison, and even with equated gas and everything into it. Going out to Olds the other day, like I did, and uploading videos at my buddy's house, because I just sit in front of his house and upload videos. It's a great arrangement we have. I have his Wi-Fi password. And he's totally cool with me doing it. That's why some of my longer videos, I have to go to his house to upload them because I can't do them from where I am, here. Um, Not all the time, old school, actually. I see a lot of stuff that, like, they're not just buying straight from Walmart. Some gas stations might actually do that, but the gas stations around here don't. They go through the regular suppliers and stuff like that. Just the only thing is with a gas station compared to a regular place is because they don't get as much foot traffic through and they can't buy as much in bulk is they have to charge a little more for it. And that's perfectly understandable because there is an entire thing of, well, there's not as many people buying it. For us to make any money on it, we do have to charge a little more because we're not able to buy it as big in bulk like Walmart or IGA or Sobeys can, right? And $2 a gallon for milk. I wish. Like I said, it's close to $6 here now for what is considered about a gallon of milk. It's 4 liters of milk, so around the same. Not quite, but a gallon is actually slightly smaller. But yeah, hey, that's what happens when you're doing a live stream, though. There's never a set topic all the time. Like I talked about the best in show thing and the weekend and stuff, but I didn't really have anything else planned. It's not like, hey, this is my itinerary of stuff and I'm sticking to it. No. That's what's fun about the live streams here, right? You don't have to stay on a set schedule or anything like that because, well, I don't care. I'm talking to you guys. You guys are the one kind of dictating how long this goes and how much fun it is. For me, because you're talking. True that. Like, and because for me right now, car stuff, like I said, there's the R32, like vehicles I need to film right now. There's actually quite the list. One buddy Kirby, he's up in Lacombe. Yeah, I think he's up in Lacombe. He has an 87 GNX. He has a Celine Fox Body Mustang. He has a Omni GLH S, actually. Which, if you don't know what GLHS stands for, it literally goes like hell some more. Gotta love Kara Shelby for that sort of stuff. Yeah, he has a Celine, actually. It's pretty cool. And like I said, he has a authentic GNX. Not a Grand National, a GNX. Which they only built 547 GNXs? When back in 1987, and ASC McLaren were the ones that fiddled with it and made those things an absolute monster. And the problem is because the Grand National was kind of kicking the Corvette's butt, and they said, okay, we're gonna make one final one that'll kick the Corvette's ass royally, and will take years for the Corvette to actually catch up to this in performance-wise. And that was in 1987. And then Buick got boring. Very boring after that. They went to front-wheel drive and everything, and yeah, it's sad. Pretty sad. But that's okay. And now Buick is still around, selling, well, some cars. I wouldn't even consider, they're not exciting anymore, They haven't made an exciting car in a long time. Although, I will say there was a Regal wagon that they were making, and that was kind of cool, actually. I love a wagon, so there's that, right? I'm a little biased that way. But, it used to be 53, but I don't know what it is anymore. Because before the CTS and Escalade, they could have continued with the G-body platform, to be honest. They could have evolved it and stuff like that. Kind of like what they did with the Fox body, right? Because the Fox body, people think, oh, they went from 79 to 93. No, it didn't. It went longer than that. Because the SN95 and New Edge Mustangs were just a modified Fox body platform. You'd be surprised at how much is interchangeable between the two cars. Underneath, it is a lot, actually. And they're very, very similar structures and everything, right? So, yeah. Just next time you see a 94 to 98 and a 99 to 04, look at how similar they are to a Fox body. And you'll realize, holy crap, there's a lot that's the same. That's why when I drove Shadow, the 2003 Mustang, it was like, it's all very familiar to me. There's nothing that's too weird about this car or anything like that. It's very similar to a Fox body. There's a couple things that aren't the same, obviously. White on green. White on green. What's the white on green scheme? I've seen green on white. White on green. That's interesting. Oh, okay. Huh. That's an interesting combination for that. Cool car. Those are really neat cars. And that's actually another car I need to film as well. There is a 71 Cutlass Supreme that I need to go film, and I just haven't done it. It's a very nice car. Guy here in town actually owns it. His name's Trevor. Good guy. He has two Cutlasses actually. The one is a 4-door that's really rusty and it's kind of hurting. The other one is a very nice car overall. It does, it's not super mint, but it's damn close. That kind of reminds me of my dad. Because my dad, this wasn't a new car or any stretch of the imagination. He found, I'm not even sure what year it was, but it was a Volvo 240 wagon, and it was an early one too. Like it had the round headlights and everything, so early 70s, right? Very cool car. I'm pretty sure it was rust free, and it had that and it had an interesting stuff with it because, like, okay, this thing was a triple blue car, which was pretty common to be honest on those Volvos. But I mean, usually I actually saw like a tan interior or something like that. This one was a blue interior and it was cloth. And I think ran and drove great for a while, but then I started to get electrical issues, and my dad wasn't mechanically inclined enough to fix said electrical issues, so it just parked. Now the thing is, his initial intentions on buying this Volvo was two things. Well, one, a nice family car, which he got that because a Volvo 240 wagon is one of the best family cars on the planet, and it's really cool, and they're super safe too. Because actually, it's kind of interesting how safety standards are still very similar to what they were back in the day. The only difference is they are like sort of more strict now, but the basis of all safety standards, at least in the U.S., is kind of funny, is actually based on the Volvo 240. Like that was the first. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It's not the first car to have crumple zones. It's the first mass-produced car to have crumple zones, though. Well, people are still gonna die in accidents no matter what, right? And also, depending on with airbags are hit and miss whether they help you or not. Like some accidents, they'll actually harm you more than help you, but other accidents they will help you more than harm you. It's one of those things. And crumple zones, they do help and save people from being injured, because there are some insane crashes that happen nowadays, and guys walk away like nothing happened. That's like, you couldn't do that in like my car. You crash like that in my car, you're dead. You smoke a guardrail doing a $120, and yeah, you're not in good shape after that. It was like the guy that I can't remember if he passed or not. I know he was in very critical condition. Last summer, there was a guy who crashed on. Actually, there's a hill that comes into Sundre. Now, I don't know how it happened 100%, but he was driving a 1960 or 61 Dodge Dart. It's actually a very big car, those are. Compared to what they became later on. In about 63, they started to become more compact. But when the Dart first came out, very large car. And, at the time, well, they didn't have collapsible steering columns or anything like that. And seatbelts were an option, if they were even an option then. Because seatbelts didn't really become a thing until the 70s, right? Like, to be mandatory in cars. And yeah. I forget where I was going with that. Oh, welcome to being as tired as I am. Nothing comes out the way you want it to. Oh well. Let's see, safety and cars and Volvo 240. Actually, oddly enough, there's cars that you can crash in the past, and it depends on. Well, actually, I was gonna say, because that's right. I was talking about that 1960 or 61 Dart that crashed hill here. He got into a head-on collision, which I don't even know how it happened because it doesn't even make sense how you can have a head-on collision on that road unless somebody was passing where they shouldn't have, and that's really the only excuse. And even then, it's not really an excuse. It's just, that's like dumb, right? So, anyways, he gets smoked like hard because this guy's. I believe he was doing 80. The other guy was doing about a $120. So combined, that is 200 kilometers an hour, which that is what 130, 140 miles an hour, give or take, ish, somewhere in there. Yeah. So that's fast to crash in a car like that, and he was in critical condition leaving the scene. I saw the pictures of the car. And I saw the truck that smoked it too, because the truck was a modern Ram. It was that 05 to 2008 era Ram, and that thing was tacoed. But so was the Dart. The Dart was even more hurting. And yeah, the 81 Granada, yeah, fairly solid cars overall. But you still have to be careful when you crash them, right? Because again, they didn't really like. They have, the collapsible steering columns and stuff like that, but they don't have crumple zones, right? So yeah, and I don't have any issues with roller highways. I really don't. Like, if you are being stupid on a rural highway, yeah, that's when you get hurt. But like even today, this is kilometers an hour for you Americans, by the way. I was doing 140 to 145 kilometers an hour on a back road around here because I was trying to catch back up with because I kind of got abandoned on the cruise back here to Sundry. It just it happens. The quote unquote leader Jamie, he was actually in a hurry because he needed to go pick up some tires because for his Mustang. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I was a little annoyed, but fine. So I actually turned down a nice trailer. So I actually, well, they go down the main highway. I just like, well, the main highway is gonna be really clogged up and everything. I went down a back highway. Um, and the thing is, I just put on the GPS to make sure, okay, I'm going the right way, and so I don't get lost because you can get lost on those. It's only 7 o'clock here. You forget I'm in the west, right? It is setting at the moment, but yeah, I mean sunset here at the moment probably around 9:30 ish. So yeah, it's only 7 o'clock here though right now because gotta remember I'm in Alberta, right? Some of these other people are in Ontario, but yeah. So like, and I am on Mountain Time, which Alberta's above Montana. So oh no. Although in the summertime here, sunset doesn't really happen like when the sun's down and it's finally dark. On the longest day, to like 10:45, 11 o'clock. So okay, you're an hour ahead. To be honest, it still won't be super dark by then yet out here. It will be getting there, but not quite yet because it should be around 9:30 ish when it's fully dark here. Ish, right? Because I mean, yeah, the sun is technically setting. I mean, we can. Heck, I can. If I can get up. Ah. Okay, do that. Do that. All right, let's take you peoples on an adventure. Show you guys the sunlight. As long as I don't fall down the stairs. There we go. We're good. Okay. The stairs are a little sketchy. But, like, again, it's still super bright out. Like, see? It's still quite high up there and still very bright. So, yeah. You know, here's the Civic. And actually, you might notice, hey, Luma isn't here anymore. Yeah, it's because it's out of Greg's. So, that's fine. You know, Stitches over there in all of her splendor and glory. And actually, something I did, because Roy actually did a full sort of tour of this car. And I told him the story and everything with it. Stuff I've done and all that different stuff. It's kind of a cool video, hopefully. It works out. But I put his sticker on my car. So, well, that's because my Wi-Fi is probably not super amazing all the way over here. But yes, I was very, very, very excited about getting that award. And now the thing is, if the video quality was choppy, that's because I'm, you know, doing this, right? Because this doesn't have the stabilization when I'm YouTube live versus doing it as my regular YouTube uploads. So, you know, just steady. There we go. And let's do this back. Because, yeah, I was very, very, very excited to get the Best in Show award, which, again, it was about 10 of us that actually got the award, but I wasn't really that far from the Wi-Fi, actually. My Wi-Fi, because I'm in a little trailer, and it's not that far from the window, actually. Like, literally, that is about 10 feet difference between where I am here now to where I was. I can get my Wi-Fi, no joke, damn near at the liquor store that's across the street. Or I guess across the alley. So, yeah. No, it wasn't because of that. Yeah, and it's just, well, the thing is, when the camera is moving with a Facebook Live, or, sorry, not Facebook Live, YouTube Live, it doesn't have the best stabilization, so it does get fuzzy pixels and stuff like that too, right? And there's nothing I can do about that. That's just YouTube's stuff. So, yeah, no, it wasn't because of the Wi-Fi. I still had full bars of Wi-Fi out there. It's kind of convenient. I can do, like, if I'm parked in front of the house, I can do live videos from inside my car, which I might actually transfer to the car because it's getting a little cold out here. So let me just do this. And let's go out to the car. Because I have done some stuff in the car. Like, I haven't really done a full live video. But, because, yeah, it is fun. Although I should bring my stuff. Hang on a second. We have fun on these lives, don't we? Because I want to keep these in, well, they're going to get hung back up again, but when I go to shows and stuff like that, I'll take them down and bring them to shows. Like the car meets here in town, I am showing that one off, definitely. The license plate will just hang up on my wall. But, yeah. And it is kind of nice doing stuff in my car, like when it's not cold. Oh yeah, like it's getting a little chillier out here, but once I'm in the sun, it's kind of nice. But my car is always warmer than it is outside. Always. Even with the heat not on. So let me quickly do this. Bring it inside. And do this. There we go. Here in Alberta, no. We only have the single plate in the rear, nothing up front. So, yeah, you always see like a lot of the time, if people want a front plate, it's like a custom plate. We did away with front plates. How long ago was that? Quite a number of years ago, actually. Like, the Civic over there still has its still has a front plate on it from back in the day. And no, we only get one plate no matter what. We don't get to choose, hey, do we want one or two? No, it's just one all across the board. Now, doesn't mean you can't register 2 plates technically on a car. Because if you have a matching set of old plates, you can technically use which is cool. I like that sort of thing. So like for example, I don't have the matching one to it, but I have in my room inside is a Alberta plate that's kind of rusty and cool. It's green. From 1968. And that's back when they didn't put stickers on the thing, which now we've done away with stickers, and I really want a sticker for my car. Actually, besides, I think it's only Alberta and Saskatchewan that have the 1 plate. Every other province has 2. I believe so. Yeah. So, just one of those deals, because, well, like I said, Alberta used to be a dual plate province, but not anymore. Yeah, there's a ton of states that I know are different like that. Now, no, that's kind of silly. I wouldn't get rid of plates. And also, if anybody is, I'm not worried about people stealing my license plate because you have to open the trunk to get my license plate out. So you're fine. Like I'm fine. Legit because of how I mounted it. Yeah, see, there you go. Like what Mark said there. Let's see, let me try something here. For a, does that work back there? Just trying to see where I can sort of put this in the background if I can. Because, yeah, that's not really gonna work. Okay, well, trying some stuff, right? I'd have to like tape it to the window, just, you know, hang it right there. Actually, can I wedge it? Hey, there we go. Is it gonna stay? Is it gonna stay? There we go. As long as I don't move it, it's gonna stay there. Cool. I mean, I might. Oh, I fell. Damn it. Stay up there. Okay, hopefully it stays now. That's actually a great spot for that. You know, if we're doing like live videos or something like that, that'd be perfect sitting there. Not that I do very many like lives from my car, which actually, it's a little too hot in here. It's a struggle. Let's just roll down the window. It's too cool outside, too hot in the car. It's a struggle, and this is warm. Is this one cold? It's cool air anyway. There we go. That's better. But yeah, and it's just, you know, it's been a very, very fun time. Cool. So it looks like that's staying. So I will keep that in mind for the future. Who knows? I might do lives like on Novitaz's channel, for example, from in here. Or at least until it gets too dark and then transfer aside, but I can do them from out here because I can't have the light on here, right? So it's a 78 Civic. The thing is, 78 and 79 are the only ones that have the hood that one has. And also the grille design is different too in those 2 years. The bumpers are also different, and so are the taillights. So there's actually a lot of differences between the two. The earlier 70s ones didn't have quite as bulky fenders, or I should say bulky bumpers and stuff. But yeah, you know, because those taillights, like I said, they came out in 78. And I can't remember, are those taillights 1 year only, or did they do those for 2 years? I can't remember. Regardless, I'm not sure if there's any 1 year only stuff. It's been a bit. And let me do that to block out that. There we go. Perfect. There, it's like a perfect setup in here. It's a little more awkward doing it this way though, because well the camera is here, but I want to look there. So yeah. Interesting. My cell phones were older, but I didn't know quite what year they actually came out. So that's cool. I just remember when car phones were all the rage in cars, and you know, just like, oh, you had a very upper echelon car and very fancy if it had a car phone in it. A lot of BMWs and Mercedes had them. Like I know you can get like the 850i, for example, with the V12 and stuff like that with one. You can get full size Mercedes with them as well. They were pretty penny though. And what's interesting now is with the car phones, you can actually still set those up to work. It is kind of cool, and people do. There are certain satellites that are still active that can make that phone actually function. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and that does not shock me one bit. Like, here's the thing. Japanese imports were a lot cheaper than anything else, like for imported cars, right? There was no European car that was as cheap as the Japanese variants of them. You know, like for example, Honda Civic. I think that was only like a $2,000 car when they came out in '74, right? They may have even been cheaper than that. But the thing is, and with inflation, during the '70s, it just about doubled every year. Interesting. Huh. That is very interesting that the scanner could pick that up. Because you'd think it'd be radio waves, not cell phone waves or satellite waves, right? So that is interesting, actually. Kind of funky. No! It fell again. I'm sad. I mean, I could, actually. Do I still have it in here? Yes, I do. I can make this work. I was gonna say, and it's not like, you know, I'm only 25, but I did have an analog phone. You know, I have used a rotary dial phone as well. And yeah. Because my first phone was a Nokia, actually. Little stick phone from the late 90s. Honestly, I love that phone. It was great. It was indestructible too. I did so much stuff with it that you couldn't do to a modern phone. They just get destroyed. Actually, can I do this? Oh, I'm gonna need to clean that because I forgot about that stuff. But okay, push that tight up against there. Nope, it's not low enough. There we go. That'll do. I'm just gonna lean back like this. Because yeah, unfortunately, I got all of this like tar that is on. Actually, it's underneath the trim, and it's basically the glue that they used over time. It just turns to tar, and it's kind of annoying to deal with. So I'll have to clean this. That's fine. It'll clean up just fine. It's not that hard to get off. Just a little bit of a scrub down, it'll be fine. But yeah, because I kind of forgot about that, so I shouldn't have done that. That's okay. Because yeah, who knows? I might make something that'll hang from the roof like that. You know, and show that at like car shows and stuff like that with a little mount here. That just, you know, or maybe just make like a magnetic mount to connect to the roof. Because I still have, if you look, because you can see back here, there's about
that much room between. Hang on, let's do it this way. There's that much room between the trim and the headliner, because this headliner's out of a Mustang 2. It doesn't even fit. So it's not out of the hatchback or anything. It's Mustang 2. Which I didn't know that till after I picked it up. Or yeah, so that's fine. Not too worried about that. Let's see. Do I have a clock?